YouTube. This is BxDaFX. Welcome back to a new video. I think this is the first video this year. So let's quickly break down these trades for the month of July. So I go back from school beginning of July and then resumed back in action. Telegram is back. Everything is back. So let's break down these trades real quick. So we took a total of I think 7 trades this month of July. Um, you know, 7 trades. Some of the trades are the same pairs. So we had a trade on Euro NZD, trade on BTC USD, trade on Euro CAD, and yeah, so on and so forth. So let's start with Euro NZD. What I saw, what I took the trade, and then there'll be screenshots of profits and everything, loss, everything. So we're very transparent here. So let's just quickly break down this trade. What I saw. So we took 2 bars in the span of I think 2 weeks. I think so. This was Thursday. This was next week Friday. So yeah, span of 2 weeks. Right. So as you can see, we started from the daily. Right. We did see we're bullish. We're creating this bullish, pattern. Reacted of this order block, swept, break of structure. So on the daily, we're clearly bullish, right? And then looking for buys. So we zoomed out to the lower time frame. 4 hour. So went to 4 hour. Got our structure, still had that bullish structure, creating higher highs, higher lows up to, this point where we enter the market. So we went to 3 hour, I think it was a 2 hour, we saw our zone, 3 hour, 2 hour. Yeah. So this is where we marked our order block. So as you can see, this is not a typical SMC type, entry of the order block inducement, but it's similar. It's really similar here. So, once you have experience in the market, you tend to refine your entries and everything. So, due to experience, I've therefore, refined my what's it called? I've tend to refine my, market entries. So for this for this situation right here, we entered off this order block right here. This order block, as you can see, caused this break. If you can look well, you can see we had a fractal break right here, right, with the wick, right. But since let's just mark it out fully like this, so to be clear. So and then you can see instead of price to normally react off this order block and then continue the movement go up, we had a sweep of the low. So this is normal. This is very normal when it comes to traps and everything. So we do expect like normal retail traders to be placing their orders off here. So you can see once it induced the zone, we had a spike reaction. So retail traders, their head is getting swelled. They think, yeah, okay, this is definitely going to be buy. They think that okay, the daily is on the bullish, everywhere is bullish. We're definitely going up. And then what the bank do? What did the price do? Swept them, took their stop losses, and then what did they do? Continued in the original market bias of the bullish momentum. So then that's when we saw okay, we had the sweep of this zone into this other block below. So now if you notice well, this now is inducement for this zone. So this is definitely high probability. So the niggas that went off this, sorry for the language, the people that went off this zone right here, there is no inducement for them. But you can see this is inducement for this zone. So this is a better zone to enter off the price from, right? So you can see we entered off the zone. No, sorry, price break came to the zone, had a bullish momentum causing another break of structure right here too. Fractal break right here too. Alright. So now what are we waiting for? We're waiting for, market to give us a clean entry for us to ride the bullish momentum up until wherever our take profit is, right? So as you can see, right, we had the sweep here, the break of structure, and then we're waiting for price to pull back into our, let's delete this real quick, pull back into our entry and therefore take the bars. As you can see, this was our zone, 2 hour zone, causing this break. So this is a QMR type entry, model reversal entry pattern right here. So how price reacts into this order block, right? Stop loss is definitely going to always be the low. So people that trade this type of pattern or type of entry model will know that anytime you have an order block that is, has been destroyed, right? That leg of destruction, the the last wick, before the reversal is where you always keep your stop loss, right? And if you have enough room for the risk, you should probably should put it lower, right? But I didn't, so my stop loss was directly on that leg, right? Targeted a high, you know. This is a total of around five risk to reward right here. We're at 35. I think my stop loss was at 35 on the door. It's 35 pip stop loss, so 350, you know. Yeah, around there. Alright, so this is the entry, right? So you would this all the way to this. We held this over the weekend, I think, so because it triggered on a Friday, held it over the weekend, price opened, then hit our TP on Wednesday the following week, right? So this is an amazing trade, by the way. So everything is shared in my Telegram community. Link is in the description as always. So then the second entry then appeared to me. So I didn't you after I hit TP on this, I just removed it from my checklist. But then you know I went back to it because I was looking for pairs because the market was really slow this week, right? So I was looking for pairs to trade because everywhere was just market was moving really slow, and then as I entered the pair, I noticed this pattern off the bat, right? This is just a clean SMC structure, an SSC structured pattern right here. So right, so let's break down this one real quick. Right, let's delete this. All right, let's delete this real quick. So as you can see, price is still having that bullish momentum, right? So we had the sweep of this low right here, inducement to this zone, right? Right, inducement to the zone. This is the inducement that swept, right? So what do we do, right? We waited for price to form that typical my entry model that I always look for, right? The bullish entry model we're looking for is sell side sweep, a break of structure, inducement into a zone, and laying buy side liquidity to target, right? So this was the buy side liquidity, this line right here. So this was definitely our target we'll be targeting for. So we had inducement to the zone, for our entry here. Stop loss definitely was here to be safe, targeting this for a total I think about 3R, 3.5R right here. So yeah, I think how long was this trade? I think we held this one over the weekend too because it triggered on Friday too. So two of our trades have triggered on Friday. So this is just me breaking down Euro NZD, the two trades that I took. And now for next week, I do still have my eyes on this pair for sales because we have indeed gotten that change of character right here. So we can indeed call this a change right here, or assist, whatever you want to call it, a change of state of delivery, right? So yeah, this is basically Euro NZD, what I'm looking for to sell in this point right here. But we do want to get a confirmation that price is ready for that bearish turnover. Right? Most likely target this low or this zone right here for a total of about 4R. I think we just target 4R. I think yeah. So yeah, so that's basically what we're looking for in Euro NZD. So now let's go to the next pair we had, which was BTC USD, which we had this. I think this trade gave us most of our profits on the account. Right. So if you guys want to, check the account stats, I dropped everything on the Telegram. We were very profitable in the month of July. I think we had a return of about 169%, which is amazing for the capital we're trading with. So let's break down. This is the same type of entry we had on Euro as the QMR type entry where you have a destruction of a zone into a break of structure and inducement into a zone targeting the leg of destruction. So what do we see? We saw this bullish pattern. BCC has been having that bullish move, creating reaching new all-time highs. So I think this is current all-time high of 123K, right? So we're bullish, so we don't expect BTC price to tank anytime soon because I think what's it called? I think the last 2 weeks we had news that came out with President Trump who had plans of removing the Fed Minister Powell. So I think that caused, the USD to have a down spike, and then BTC, creating new highs and everything. So let's break down this trade. So we had inducement to this order block right here, typical SMC entry. People took buy from here, but I didn't because I was looking for a more safe, risk-free entry that I wanted to look for, right? So we saw this order block that caused this break right here, sell side sweep, destruction. So this we always want to see that destruction, right? So we have destruction here, inducement into the zone, that's right here. But this is not the best type of inducement to look for. The best type of inducement to look for is always the ones that have kind of a V kind of shape pattern, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. You can see this V, right? This is what we look for. This V type pattern right here. So we did eventually get that, and the reason I marked this out as my inducement because if you go down to the 30 minutes time frame, we noticed there was an Asian low, which is a magnet. Let's call it a magnet. Magnet is something that attracts things, right? So a magnet in this instance is something that attracts price. So definitely price is going to come back here and touch this or take out this inducement, right? So if you look clearly, we had an Asian low right here, right? So this white thing is the Asian low, the one above is the Asian high, right? So this is what you know this is what gave me that confidence to execute this trade with a higher amount of risk, right? So this is the reason why this gave us most of the accounts profit. So targeted the zone right here, induced it. This was the inducement. So we had inducement here, which is also in line with the Asian low. So you can see this dollar sign plus the Asian low. That is the sign and the terminology I used for inducement overhead. So um put a long position over here, targeted. The stop loss was the leg of destruction. As you can see, stop loss was right here. And this was around 2.3R, not the best risk to reward, but it's BTC. It moves really fast. So I think this trade took us a total of how many days? Traded on Friday too. So we held it through the weekend. TP was hit on Monday, right? So yeah, this is an amazing trade. So we targeted this high. Usually I targeted this high, but you know, I saw some bearish signs. This is a supply zone and everything. So I didn't want to get caught up in that. So close at this high right here. So that's for BTC USD. Now let's go to Euro CAD. I think we took two trades on this last week too. Wow. So as you can see, really, really amazing entries. I think this trade right here was really crazy. Just hit TP in one candle. I think there was around those news right here. But let's break down the first trade real quick. So if we zone out on the weekly, we'll see that this was, I think it was on the daily, that this is a zone, a supply zone, as you can see. Alright. So we notice price did eventually tap that supply zone and gave us a confirmation that we're having bearish signs. What do I mean? Once we tapped it, what do? We had a change of character. So let's just mark this out for the sake of the video. Had a change of character on the 4 hour, right? And we pulled back into this zone, started looking for entries. So this was a 1 hour breaker block that we had inducement to. So it's not about the type of zone you have, whether it's a breaker block, an order block, or anything. It's just have a POI that has inducement to it, right? So this is a breaker block, as you can see. This breaker block right here, broke it. We had inducement. This was the inducement, right? Yeah, let's mark it out with a thicker white color. Right? As you can see, had price pull back into this targeting just lows, right? Stop loss above the high also. Normally, I would have targeted this lows, but price was moving really slow, and I couldn't wait. To be honest, that's the truth. So, but this is usually the trade I would have taken. I love to take, but as I closed it, I still noticed that price is still definitely going to come to take out this low right here. So that's why we started looking for a second entry, and we found it using our QMR type entry, right? So it's very good when you're diverse with your entry types. You have more space to adapt to market changes, and you know what works for you. So I had this right here, uh, had the zone, This is the supply zone that caused this break. Let's mark this out. Supply zone that caused this break, or you can just say it like this break two. So this is a break, this was a change, a break, and then understand. So yeah, an inducement was right here, or also right here too. Whatever one you want to do, but as long as the inducement is within the 50% Fibonacci rate, so it is above it. So obviously we have proper confluence that this is very, very likely to hold. So what do we target? The lows that we were initially targeting, right? As you can see, let's map this out fully. And then I think a new spiked up, triggering this. Our stop loss also is the leg of destruction, right? That's what it's called for me, the leg of destruction, something that breaks the zone that you want to enter from. So targeted this, entered off here. Look, we made around $300 with this trade. So this is it right here. This is the Eurocard two trades that we took last week, and then GB NZD moving slow as hell, but we do in fact want to see the bullish price take at this high right here. So I'm no more in this trade because I didn't like how slow it was moving, but that's one thing that you have to adapt to when trading with higher time frames. Not a lot of trades will take a lot of time to hit a take profit, but you have to have that endurance to hold it, through the highs, through the retracements, through the pumps, everything. Always have that just trade that mindset that I have a stop loss already and I'm not leaving the trade till it hits my stop loss or my take profit. So let's break down this trade. So this analysis was done at the daily time frame. So obviously we have this clean SMC structure, SMC bullish structure right here. Right, we have the zone, sell side sweep break of structure, inducement right here to the zone, enter of the zone, targeting the what? Line buy side liquidity. Basically, don't need to do more explanation on that, right? So this is basically entered of the daily. The peak range of the daily was enough for me. It was enough risk for me. Right. When you know how to calculate risk a lot, you know, you can adapt to a lot of stop losses. So yeah, this is basically it. And for next week, I do have my eyes on some pairs, but before you get that, you have to join the Telegram below. So this is just wanted to come on YouTube, come out for a break, come out from my break, and just do a little breakdown of what I have been up to, right? So this is, you know, uh, what we have been working on for the month of July, right? So I'll see you guys next video, maybe at the end of the month of August, or maybe I'll do a quick, I know, technical analysis video mid August. But yeah, let's see you later, guys. Good night.